Thank you for being here. Originally, we intended for this session to have more people, and therefore we set it up to be a breakout session because we do have a couple more signed up. For one reason or another, they are not here. But no worry, what we intend to do is still to move around from station to station so that you may experience the various tools in Blackboard that can be used for collaborative learning in a classroom like this. So without further ado, let me just carry on with what I want to share first. Along the way, you will find that you may want to take down notes or you may want to write down some information, but not to worry too much. Most of the information is actually available in the website. The website address is at the top of the slide at cel.info/bls-nie. All right, so there's a website that you can go to and access this. We will also be tweeting, so you can actually follow us along with back channeling. The Twitter hashtag is #BLINCC. Now, what is blended learning? We realize that there have been a lot of hoo-ha and a lot of hearsay about blended learning. First of all, we actually, we all know about the educational history. We have the face-to-face kind of lecture, the industrial style where all the students are in the school. And then we move to the other extreme where we have the online learning whereby we push all our learning up onto an LMS platform. And then now we have this other thing that is coming on that says blended learning. Then what exactly is blended learning? It is the next big thing that most of us are talking about. Well, blended learning is basically a remix of everything. We mix together face-to-face and online learning. That's why we call it blended. We have face-to-face session with our students. At the same time, we bring about some form of e-learning. Why are we doing this? First of all, we find that when we do this, we increase the students' engagement. When we increase student engagement through all the active learning that they participate through online activities, we find that there are an increased amount of interactions between lecturers or trainers and students. And also, by doing blended learning, we allow more collaboration to take place among the learners, sometimes even between the learners and the trainer or the lecturers. We find that there's also a reduce of stress load when we use blended learning, especially in an institution like this where we have number of students increasing yearly. We find that there's a huge amount of stress placed on the venues and even resources. When we do blended learning, what we are doing is we are reducing the stress load on the venue and also on the resources. Now, sometimes some of us can actually be doing face-to-face while some other classes are going on with online learning. And then later on when we do a swap, the whole entire class that was originally doing face-to-face can then switch to the online learning mode, and then the other class comes into a face-to-face kind of situation. So that reduces the stress load for venue. Similarly, for resources, we find that we sometimes stretch ourselves very thin, running from lectures to lectures or workshops to workshops. But when we do a blended learning approach, what we are doing is we are juggling all the different activities in a mix of both online and face-to-face so that we can manage the whole entire range of students and the differentiation of the students and all the different classes better. So that helps to reduce the stress load. Now, on top of that, we also feel that blended learning pairs very well with NIE's collaborative classroom. Here, this room is actually one of our NIE's collaborative classroom. In this kind of room, you will find that we have a large LCD display panels all around. Okay, some of the classroom has got 4, some classrooms have 6 LCD display panel. We also have cluster style seating arrangement. Over here, you have the tables are rearranged. Actually, individually, they can seat 5. Put together, some of them can seat 8, sometimes can seat 10, depending on how you want to cluster the students. But one of the key affordances of this class is that we provide cluster seating arrangement instead of the long bench kind of style or the individual seating arrangement in many of the typical classrooms. In some of our smart classroom, some of our collaborative classroom, we also have smart board. If I'm not wrong, there should be about 4 or 5 of them with smart board. Smart board allows you to link the board to your computer and convert the whole entire board into like a touch screen so that you can interact or take your interaction with the students further on the board itself. So this is how a setup typically look like in a collaborative classroom. Now, one of the key things we find that we can do in a collaborative classroom is to bring the collaborative learning strategies one step further. In a typical classroom, when we do collaborative learning, we are doing round robin, think, pair, share, some of these kind of strategies. Definitely, these kind of strategies can take place in any place. But when we come to a collaborative classroom like that, with all the different display panels and all the different kind of furnitures, what we are saying is that, hey, we can take all these strategies and stretch them a little bit further, and therefore, round robin no longer become just confined to that group when you do your round robin discussion or that round robin activity. Now, the individual group activity can also be shared to the rest of the groups that are in the room. If you are doing a maybe fishbowl activity, then you can find that different groups can contribute to the same entire brainstorming process by contributing to different part of the fishbone. So these are affordances that this classroom can bring about whereby you may not be able to leverage in a normal and typical classrooms. Why then do we blend with Blackboard in this kind of classroom? There are a few key reasons. One is that we have invested a lot of money into Blackboard. NIE spent millions of dollars over the years investing in Blackboard. But Blackboard, if you notice, most of us have been using it as simply a repository system whereby we put information in there for students to retrieve. Some of us take it a little further to do quizzes and assignments. Some of us use the SMS features and blogging and so on and so forth. But really, there are a lot more potential that we can tap on in Blackboard. So that's one of the key reasons. Secondly, you will find that in Blackboard, we have a lot of solutions all gathered together. It's a one-stop place where you can find many different tools which you can use. And all these tools can be or maybe even more powerful than many of the Web 2.0 tools out there that are free. Last but not least, we have a team of instructional designers and educational technologies that are in CEL that will be able to provide technical support and also pedagogical consultation and advice to you. So this is one of the key reasons, these are some of the key reasons why we feel that it is about time for us to take Blackboard to the next phase, to push it to the next level of potential as we journey together as an institution. Now, today we want to present, or rather we want to discuss with you 3 key tools that we can find commonly used in Blackboard. First of all, the wiki. And then we will also talk to you about forums and rubrics. Most of the time when we use rubrics, we pair it with the quizzes. And we have never thought about how can we use rubrics in other areas. So today we want to pair forums together with rubrics and take that idea a little bit further and see how it can also be applied into a classroom like that. Last but not least, we also want to talk a little bit more about quizzes and survey and how to exploit the affordances a little bit more for collaborative learning. So we have set up the station in such a way whereby station A over here covers wiki, and then we have station B over here that covers the forums and rubric, and then over there station C will cover quizzes and survey. Now, because there are 3 of you here, it doesn't make sense to break you all up into 3 different and then rotate you guys around. So there are a few ways that we can do. One is that the 3 of you cluster together and then we journey in the next 1 hour together as one group from station to station and then interact and dialogue with the team there. Or the other way could be you pick the stations that you want to go to. Let's say, for example, the 3 of you start with station A, and then halfway through you feel that, okay, this is not likely a strategy that I will definitely apply, but I think I want to do a lot more on quizzes, and I will probably want to spend more than 20 minutes or half an hour with the team here. So you may want to just hop over first before the rest come over. So that's the idea. In each and every team you will find an instructional designer and also educational technologists. We have purposely paired them in that way because we feel that it's important to bring about pedagogy before technology. And so to help us to share with you, or rather to discuss with you and explore with you the various pedagogies or instructional strategy, we have purposely put in the instructional designer. And then together with our technologists who is expert in using Blackboard, we'll then together discuss with you how we can take all these tools to the next level.